if I claim my child as a dependent because they're a full-time student, then can they claim themselves on their own tax return? Now that's an excellent question, and I hate using the word logic when we talk about the IRS, but the logic here is each of us only have one personal exemption. We can only be a dependent and get that exemption on one return. So if your daughter does qualify as a dependent on your tax return, in most situations it's probably going to be better from a tax standpoint for you to claim her as a dependent. And if you do, then she cannot take a personal exemption on her tax return. Now, it comes back to a math issue. If both of you have the ability to claim the personal exemption on each return, then it's a great idea to sit down and do the calculation both ways. See which tax return would provide the best tax benefit for including that personal exemption. And I mentioned it's usually better to have it on your tax return simply because in most cases your earnings as a family perhaps are more than what her earnings are as a student. In which case that exemption might translate into offsetting dollars that are going to be taxed at a higher tax rate than what she would be including. Now there's a couple of exceptions to that. If she is married and filing a joint return with her spouse, then you're not going to be able to claim her as a dependent then. So look for those type of things, but key point to your question is only one exemption per person. So if you have it on your tax return, she can't include it on her tax return.